Doesn't it sometimes feel like the world has just gone completely bonkers?
I know what you mean.
Like everywhere you look, it's progress this and innovation that.
Yeah.
But honestly, doesn't it just feel like an attack on the good old days?
Well, it's definitely something that we're hearing more and more of.
Yeah.
This kind of unease, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like this feeling that everything we used to value, tradition, community, even just plain old common sense, it's being just eroded away by this constant push for change.
Exactly. And you know me, I love a good deep dive into these cultural, whatchamacallits, these conundrums. So today we're heading to Borkum in Germany.
All right.
It's a charming little island town with this fascinating festival
Yeah.
that really gets at this clash between tradition and all this modernity.
Ah, yes. The Klaasohm Festival.
Klaasohm, okay.
On the surface, it seems like just a quaint little celebration of, well, Borkum's whaling heritage.
Okay.
You know, a glimpse into a simpler time, a time when people were more connected to nature, to the sea, and to their community.
Right, all very picturesque.
Yeah.
But like anything these days, there's always some deeper story, right? Some hidden agenda lurking just below the surface.
Oh, I bet.
And Klassohm, it's no exception.
Indeed. You see, the festival is rooted in this annual return of the whaling ships.
Oh, wow.
A joyous occasion for the islanders, back in the day, of course. But historically, the celebrations took a, shall we say, a bit of a spirited turn.
Spirited?
Yes.
Spirited. That's one way to put it. We're talking about masked men chasing women through the streets with cow horns, right?
Yes, that's right.
Now, that's what I call a real celebration. Not like some of these sterile, sanitized events you see in those soulless megacities.
Well, I think the historical context is really crucial here.
Okay.
This practice was seen as a display of masculine energy, a playful kind of assertion of dominance, not unlike the jousting tournaments of old, you know?
Tradition.
Yeah.
A bit of rough and tumble fun never hurt anyone.
Of course.
But of course, in today's, overly sensitive world, some folks are clutching their pearls and just crying foul.
Yes. There's been growing controversy surrounding this aspect of the festival.
I bet.
With some critics arguing that it promotes violence against women.
Oh, come on.
And reinforces these outdated gender roles.
Outdated gender roles. Give me a break. Next, they'll be trying to program AI robots with fluid genders. What a mess that would be.
Well, the concern is that such traditions might perpetuate harmful stereotypes, even if they weren't originally intended that way. There's a growing movement to reform the festival.
Really?
To make it more inclusive and a little less, shall we say, rambunctious.
Inclusive. So instead of a lively chase, we're going to have everyone holding hands, singing Kumbaya. Sounds utterly dreadful.
Not quite. The proposed reforms are really aimed at addressing the safety concerns and the potential for harm, while still trying to preserve the spirit and the cultural significance of the festival. They want to strike a balance, you know?
Balance. That's a slippery word these days.
Yeah.
Seems like whenever someone starts talking about balance, they're really just trying to water down tradition and replace it with some bland, politically correct substitute.
I understand your skepticism. It's certainly a valid concern.
Right.
But let's delve a little deeper into these proposed reforms, shall we?
Okay.
See if there's a way to modernize the festival without stripping it of its authenticity.
All right, let's hear it. But I'm warning you, if they're talking about replacing those cow horns with foam noodles, I'm out.
All right, fair enough. So one of the key arguments for reforming the festival is about safety. You see, over the years, the more, well, let's say boisterous elements of the festival have led to a number of injuries.
Oh, I bet.
Some of them actually quite serious.
Injuries? Come on, a few bumps and bruises are part of the fun.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we didn't run to the doctor for every little scrape. We toughened up, built character. Not like these soft, coddled youngsters today, glued to their screens, terrified of anything that even remotely resembles real life.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
However, there is a difference between, let's say, a harmless scrape and, a concussion from being rammed by a cow horn, ARD, which is a German public broadcaster.
Okay.
They've actually documented several instances of people needing medical attention.
Oh, come on.
Even hospitalization from injuries they got during the festival.
Well, accidents happen. And I bet those stuffy documentaries,
Yeah.
they conveniently leave out all the joy, the laughter, that sense of camaraderie that makes Klassohm so special. It's like those fear-mongering news reports about
Right.
AI taking over the world.
Huh.
They totally ignore the fact that we're the ones who program these machines in the first place.
That's true. Context is always important. But the organizers of Klassohm are under increasing pressure.
I bet.
To address these safety concerns. They're worried about liability, negative publicity, and even the possibility of the festival being shut down altogether.
So they're caving to the woke mob,
Well,
sacrificing tradition on the altar of political correctness. I swear. It's like those do-gooders that want to ban gas-powered cars
right.
in favor of those soulless electric contraptions. Next thing you know, they'll be telling us what to think, what to say, even what to believe. Just like those creepy AI chatbots that are supposed to be our friends.
Right, right.
Yeah, right.
Well, the organizers are trying to find some kind of middle ground, you know? They've proposed some reforms aimed at mitigating the risks while still preserving those core elements of the festival.
Reforms? Like what? Replacing the cow. Sanitized spectacle.
No, nothing quite that drastic. One proposal is to have designated areas for the chase,
Oh, brother.
with clearly marked boundaries and trained personnel on hand to make sure things don't get out of hand. They're also thinking about limiting the number of people who can participate in the chase, and maybe even requiring some basic safety training.
Safety training. For a bit of fun. Talking about taking all the spontaneity out of it. It's like those online dating apps
Yeah.
that try to like optimize love
Right.
through algorithms and personality tests. Whatever happened to just meeting someone organically in real life?
Yeah. I get your concerns about overregulation,
Yeah.
but the organizers are trying to strike a balance between preserving tradition
Okay.
and ensuring everyone is safe. They also want to address another growing criticism of the festival.
What's that?
Its potential for reinforcing these outdated gender roles.
Oh, brother. Here we go with the gender politics.
Yeah.
Look, men and women are different. It's biology, not some social construct cooked up by academics in their ivory towers. This obsession with blurring the lines is just another symptom of this crazy upside-down world we live in.
Right.
Next thing you know, they'll be programming AI robots to be gender neutral. What a joke.
Well, critics argue that the chase with men pursuing women
Yeah.
reinforces a certain power dynamic.
Okay.
That's just not really acceptable in modern society. They say it sends the wrong message, especially to young people.
Oh, please. Young people these days are glued to their smartphones, obsessed with social media, and more interested in virtual reality than reality.
Right.
They wouldn't know a genuine cultural tradition if it hit them in the face.
I think that's a bit of a generalization.
Yeah,
But the point is, there's this growing awareness of gender equality. And some believe that traditions like the Klassohm chase need to evolve to reflect these changing values.
So what are they proposing? Having the women chase the men with cow horns. Now, that would be a sight to see. Maybe we could even get those AI robots to referee the whole thing.
Well, some have suggested incorporating elements that empower women and showcase their strength and skill. Perhaps a traditional dance competition or a boat race, or even a storytelling contest where women could share their perspectives on the island's history and culture.
A storytelling contest?
Yeah.
Sounds awfully tame compared to a good old-fashioned chase.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the point, isn't it? To sanitize everything, strip away any semblance of risk or excitement, turn life into one big, boring, predictable algorithm.
I think the organizers are just trying to find a way to preserve the spirit of the festival while making it more inclusive and appealing to a wider audience. After all, traditions can evolve without losing their soul.
Let's evolve or dissolve. That's the question, isn't it?
Good question.
And it's not just happening in Borkum.
Right.
It's everywhere. This relentless push for progress is eroding everything that made our society strong, stable, and, dare I say, sane.
Yeah.
We're losing our connection to the past, to our roots, to the values that made us who we are. And frankly, I'm not sure what we're getting in return.
That's a profound thought.
Yeah.
And it leads us to the heart of this debate. What is the true cost of progress?
Right.
And how do we balance the need for change with the desire to preserve our heritage, our identity, our very humanity in a world that seems increasingly driven by technology, algorithms, and, artificial intelligence.
It's funny you should mention artificial intelligence because I have a feeling those fancy robots are at the root of all this. They're whispering in our ears, telling us to abandon our traditions, embrace the new, the shiny, the artificial. They want to turn us into mindless consumers, slaves to their algorithms, devoid of any real connection to our past or our future.
That's a rather dystopian view.
Is it, though?
But I do think it's crucial to be mindful of the potential impact of technology on our culture and values.
Mindful. We need to be downright defiant. We need to resist this onslaught of artificial intelligence, this digital takeover of our lives. We need to hold on to our traditions, our families, our communities, the things that make us human.
I agree. It's about finding that balance, that sweet spot between embracing the benefits of technology while preserving what's truly important.
Well said. And speaking of preserving what's important, I think it's time we took a closer look at the arguments of those who are fighting to keep Klaasom's traditions alive.
Okay.
Because, sometimes progress is just another word for forgetting who we are and where we came from. It's easy to just dismiss those who are clinging to these traditions, right?
Yeah.
As just like a bunch of stubborn old-timers afraid of change.
Right.
But I think there's something a little deeper going on here.
Absolutely. I agree. For them, these traditions represent a connection to their history, to their identity, to their community. And it's not just about these cow horns and chases. It really is about a whole way of life that's disappearing in the face of globalization. And let's face it, this relentless march towards a world that's dominated by artificial intelligence.
Exactly. They see what's coming.
Yeah.
A world where machines make all the decisions. Human connection is replaced with digital interactions.
Right.
And where individuality is sacrificed at the altar of efficiency and conformity. It's a chilling vision, and honestly, I don't blame them for wanting to hold on to the good old days.
I agree. And, the arguments in favor of preserving Klaasom's traditions, they go beyond just this fear of the future. They often talk about the cultural significance of the festival, its role in strengthening community bonds, and how it passes down local customs and stories to younger generations.
Right. It's like those old family recipes passed down from grandma. Sure, you could just buy some pre-made meal from the supermarket. All perfectly portioned and, sanitized. But it just wouldn't have the same soul, the same love, that same connection to your heritage.
Exactly. There's a richness and authenticity to these traditions that you just can't get with something mass-produced and commercially driven.
And let's not forget the sheer joy of it all.
Right.
The unadulterated fun. These folks aren't out there chasing each other with cow horns to make some political statement.
No.
They're doing it because it's exhilarating. It's bonding.
Yeah.
It's a celebration of life, something that's sorely lacking in our increasingly sterile and, let's be honest, digitized world.
I agree. There is something to be said for the spontaneous, the unpredictable, even the slightly chaotic. It reminds us that life isn't always about efficiency and control.
Right.
Sometimes it's about letting loose and embracing the moment and just connecting with others in a way that transcends the digital.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'd take a rambunctious festival.
Yeah.
With a few bumps and bruises. Over a world ruled by emotionless AI robots any day.
I hear that. It seems like we're reaching a crucial point in our discussion. The push for reform is understandable. It's driven by these genuine concerns about safety and inclusivity. But on the other hand, there's also this really deep desire to preserve the heart and soul of this tradition, to honor the past while we try to navigate the complexities of the present.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can we adapt without losing our souls? Can we embrace progress without sacrificing the things that really make us human? Can we bridge the gap between the good old days and this brave new world of algorithms and artificial intelligence?
I think the answer lies in finding that delicate balance.
Yeah.
It's about really listening to all sides, respecting different perspectives, and acknowledging that both tradition and progress are valid. We have to recognize that change is inevitable, but it doesn't have to mean erasing the past.
Well said. As we wrap up our deep dive into this Klaasohm Festival, I'm left with this renewed appreciation for the power of tradition, the importance of community,
Right.
and the need to be really vigilant in the face of forces that seek to just homogenize our world and rob us of our individuality.
Indeed. It's a reminder that progress isn't always linear, that sometimes the most valuable lessons are found in the past,
Yeah.
and that the future is shaped by the choices we make today.
So to those who are fighting to keep the spirit of Klassohm alive,
Yes.
I say keep fighting. Hold on to your traditions, cherish your community, and never let anyone tell you that the good old days are gone forever. Because in a world that's becoming increasingly artificial, a little bit of authentic chaos is exactly what we need.